Hello everybody, my name is Levon, and today I'm going to give you a quick rundown on my tilapia fish farm that I built. And this is a small scale fish farm. It's roughly about 500 gallons complete. I incorporated some filters that performed poorly in my pond, and I modified the hell out of them to where they're actually performing quite well now. I'm not using any of the stuff that it came with. In fact, I'm using peat gravel, and it's doing very nicely. I don't know if you can actually see everybody at the bottom there moving around. This is my juvenile tank, and this is my young adults tank. And a heck of a lot more of them in here than there and there, and there's a reason for that. I have at the drain, I have a little grate that they shouldn't be able to pass through. The ones that do pass through are those guys right there. And they end up in my net right there. And I just put them in here until they fatten up a little bit, and then they go into here. So these are my little guys. Those are my fat boys that are eating very much and are not able to get through this. This is the grate that I used. I cut basically a tic-tac-toe pattern, and there are a couple of them down there. I might be able to see them, in fact. There's one down there that blew out. So it used to be on the drain hole right here, and I have it that way so that all the fish that can fit through end up in my net. And then those juveniles go into this tank right here where they can't get out because I have a top drain system. This was an aquarium that was donated to me, and I had it sitting for a while, and I just reused it, all the plumbing that was in the back. So like I said, these are my young little guys, and those are my same generation, but the fatter boys and the fatter guys. So these guys were eating too much, and their pellets are a little bigger than these guys. So both of them drain from the bottom, and they all come up into here. I put a sand T. I put a T. This is important so you do not create a vacuum. If you just put a 90 here and go down, it's going to start siphoning out your water, and this is not going to catch up, and you're going to have an overflow. So you got to have a T over here. Dumping into my little plastic bowl that I put there. It's polypropylene 5, by the way, food grade. My net there that catches any of my escapees. And then it overflows, goes down through the gravel. I have a 550 gallon per hour pump in there. Smart Pond pump from Lowe's. One failed me, sadly, and it took a toll on some of my large tilapia back there in my aquaponics system. So I took it, and I just serviced the pump too. I took it out, cleaned it all off, and for some reason or other, it had stopped functioning, and I wasn't very happy with that. But as you see here, it tees off, and it goes in. This is 1 inch. I go from 3/4 to 1 inch, and over here is my break. This goes and feeds the juvenile tank. It fills up from here and overflows back down into the main tank. And this is how I regulate how much water goes into there versus what goes into here. So these guys are comfortably, like I said, I put the piece of plastic in the bottom, but I didn't put the filter mat that they gave. I put some big rocks in the bottom, and I filled the rest of it with peat gravel. And I took one of these, this is the right size filter media that I bought from a local pet store. And it happens to fit perfectly. I cut it and I put it in here, and this catches all the small debris, which you can already see gathering. I rinse these guys out a couple days, 2 or 3 days. And same thing here. This is my, I also got a lot of duckweed that these guys seem to like, because I keep putting it in here and then it disappears, and I keep putting it in. So these guys don't like it that much, the little guys, but my big boys, they tend to like it. Anyway, so these two are being fed, and they're overflowing back into the pond. This is my main filter. Or these are my main filters, I should say. The heavy-duty gravel that it goes through here is the pre-filter. Excuse me. and it goes up all the way through the peat gravel, and then the fine particulate gets filtered out here, and I rinse that off a couple days, 2 or 3 days, when I see it's getting real grimy. But that's it, guys. I mean, that's basically it. I got the bigger container here for my large guys, and that's almost a full tote. And then I got a little section, a little part right here for my juveniles, my little guys. And like I said, I plumbed it in. Oh, here's my duckweed, by the way. It's doing real nice here. I took it out of the, I had it underneath my my orange tree, and I put it over here. It's nicer, it's shadier, and it's much closer to the to who's going to be eating it. But as you can see, this is all gravity fed, and the height of this is dictated by your water level. So if you're not going to check on this every week or so, you might want to have it pump fed instead of, the way I have this set up. I check on these guys every day. I feed them every day. In fact, I walk out of there and I come and I feed them and I check them. So every day before work, every day after work, I always have a visual on these guys. And if your water level if I see the gravel exposed, I like to keep 1 or 2 inches of water above my gravel in case any of the little guys jump out of the net and they're in there, they won't die. So, but if your water level starts to drop, all you gotta do is bring this thing down a little bit, and it's dictated by the height here. You just push down slightly, and it'll adjust your water level, and it'll adjust the amount of flow that's coming into your system. And that's it, guys. I mean, it's fairly simple, but yet simple and a little bit complicated, though. You just gotta have some plumbing knowledge or some plumbing skills, and basic laws of gravity, and you'll be fine. You can pretty much build one yourself. But these are harboring quite a lot of juveniles. I have roughly 1,500 babies, most of them being in here, a couple of hundred of the little ones in here, and then they end up in there because they slip past my grid. But it's looking good, guys, and it's actually performing quite well. My water was the same nasty water that they used to be in before the filters, and I wanted to see how well the filtration system worked, and it clearly has worked quite well, getting out all the nasty particulate that we couldn't see the fish earlier. But now you can see all the little buggers down there, a whole bunch of them. Yep. And there we go, guys. It's my small DIY home fish farm, and you can always upgrade it. You can always add another container. If I wanted to take that guy and put it at the very end, I can. Just plumb it in. Very easy to alter and manipulate. So if you want to add, take away, it's up to you. You can also do this as one system, juveniles, adults. But I was expecting my next generation, but the damn pump failed me, and it killed off some of my little babies. And in fact, sadly, this is all the little guys I got out of there, and there were thousands of them floating that were deceased, sadly, because of the stupid pump failing me. But other than that, guys, I was fortunate to save most of my females and a couple of my larger males, and I hopefully will have babies again soon. So we'll continue this process as it goes, and hopefully this will help somebody out there that's trying to build one themselves. All right. Hope this was educational and you guys found this somewhat interesting, and I hope it helps you guys. Okay. Thank you for watching.